Welcome to TNT Sports Talk. Today is Thursday, January 31st. As always, we're presented by our guy Dom at D's Home Cuts. My name is Travis Kurcheski. I'm your host. Got a full studio today, though. Truman's back.
How's it going, guys?
And we got Brian Leonard here.
Great to be here.
Classes have been canceled the last couple of days, so we were able to do this. It's, negative 20, negative 30 outside, so both days we've had canceled classes. So we've had the opportunity to do different things and get the studio back together.
Definitely.
We have an interview later on this show with Mitch Longo, Indians prospect Mitch Longo. Brian is also in that. That's why we brought him on today. Like we said, we filmed that yesterday, but we want to bring Brian on again today because classes were canceled, like I said. But we'll get to that later. We'll start with football. We have the Super Bowl coming up on Sunday. This will be our last show before the Super Bowl. So we want to do a little position-by-position breakdown.
Then we got to give our score predictions.
And then we'll give our score and pick predictions. All right. So let's start with position-by-position breakdowns. Let's go quarterback. Rams versus Patriots. Is anybody taking Jared Goff over Tom Brady?
I am not.
No.
It's Tom Brady's ninth Super Bowl. I think Jared Goff is more talented than Tom Brady.
Wow.
But I am taking Tom Brady every day of the week because it's his ninth Super Bowl. And I feel like Jared Goff's kind of a pressure guy, and I feel like he's going to have some issues with the bright lights because, I mean, it's a Super Bowl. It's his third year in the NFL, and you've just seen he's kind of closed in some bigger games. So I'm taking Tom Brady in this game easily.
You know, you look at when the Rams came to Chicago towards the end of the football season, it was a huge game, and Jared Goff looked absolutely terrible. So, I mean, you can't bet against Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. I got to go with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick here.
Yeah, we're all picking Tom Brady. Running backs. This could be a little close. I know the Patriots running backs do a lot of different things in that system. But I think the Rams are the better running back duo. I think C.J. Anderson has come on as of late. Todd Gurley is a top 3 running back in the NFL. We can all agree with that. You shake your head or you nod your head?
No.
Okay. Okay. Todd Gurley's top 3 running back in the NFL. C.J. Anderson has improved as of late. He's really been a great addition. So I think in terms of pure talent, I think the Rams are the better running back core. But the Patriots running backs do a lot of different things.
I'm going to go with the Rams just because I like Todd Gurley, even though he hasn't been playing as good as of late. C.J. Anderson has been kind of the spark plug. He's been kind of like the story of the playoffs, in my opinion, so far has been C.J. Anderson. He's just been playing out of his mind for being an older running back who tripped all around the league this year. So he's good for them. Good veteran on the field for them. And then obviously you add on Todd Gurley. With Patriots, I love my guy James White, Badger. He's going to do a lot of good things for them Sunday, and he does a lot of good things for them every week. Sonny Michel, obviously I think he's going to be a really good young player in this league. I think he's going to be good for a while, especially with the Patriots. But you have to go with the Rams, I think, talent-wise.
I read a report that an anonymous NFC coach this week said that,
I saw that too,
that C.J. Anderson is a better fit for the Rams offense than Todd Gurley is.
Wow.
And I also do not think that Todd Gurley is the same running back that he was at the beginning of the season because I think he has some kind of knee injury that no one is talking about because it doesn't make sense that he's just not playing and he was like the front runner to be the MVP or like finish second for most of the season. So I don't know. I would take the Patriots running backs.
All right, let's go wide receivers here. I think Julian Edelman is the best wide receiver out of both of these. What do you think, Robert Woods? Robert Woods, I think they match up well, those two. If you put them back to back. Julian Edelman's got the playoff experience.
Yeah, Julian Edelman's got the playoff
experience. Which I think puts him a little bit ahead. Then you look at the number 2. Brandon Cooks versus Hogan.
Philip Dorsett.
Or
yeah,
Dorsett.
Something like that.
So, I mean, and then who's like the third guy for the Rams? It's that Reynolds.
Yeah.
And then
he's pretty good,
I'm
too.
taking the Patriots then because I think they have a deeper core.
I'd really have to disagree on that one. I think Brandon Cooks and Robert Woods is one of the best wide receiver duos in the league. I think Brandon Cooks is Cooks is the most underrated receiver in the league because I don't know why he gets shipped around the league so often, and you see how well he's fitting in with the Rams. Robert Woods, a lot of people have been saying he's one of the most complete receivers in the league. Reynolds, I think, is a great young player. He killed the Packers in that game. But then you look at the Patriots. Julian Edelman's good, but I saw a lot of statistics where he's not as good as people think he is.
Playoffs, though, he goes off.
Yeah, but outside of that, Philip Dorsett is nothing. Chris Hogan is nothing. I'm going to go with the Rams easily. I think that's a blowout. I don't even think the Patriots. I think if you add the system in, then I think the Patriots. But I think the Rams have more talent at the wide receiver position than the Patriots by far.
I think that playoff experience has a lot more value in this scenario than actual level of talent
Brandon
does.
Cooks,
and
is that?
I mean, he does, but Julian Edelman is second on the all-time receiving list and the playoffs. He's only.
But
behind
outside of
Jerry
that,
Rice.
are you're gonna. I mean, I hope you don't make a case for Philip Dorsett.
I mean, I don't know.
I hope you don't make a case for Chris Hogan.
In terms of just pure talent, the Rams.
And you
are
said
definitely
they're
better than
deeper.
the Patriots.
Who's the fourth guy? Who's the fifth guy on the Patriots?
Who's the fourth? Who's the fifth guy on the Rams?
Exactly.
Yeah,
but
they don't. Neither of
I'd
these teams
take
have a lot
these
of depth.
three over those three, but I don't understand where you said depth.
I take Julian Edelman, Hogan, and Dorsett.
Wait, I want to see your argument for Chris Hogan and Philip Dorsett. I would love to see the argument of Chris Hogan.
You said even Reynolds. This is Reynolds' first year.
Yeah, but I feel like if you're looking at talent,
I think you.
I didn't know that this is a position by position breakdown of talent. I didn't think it was position by position breakdown of experience. I mean, we're all taking the Patriots in experience.
Yeah,
I mean that's just.
But
that's true.
you look, if they had Cup, I would easily take the Rams.
But why though?
Yeah, why?
Because
Cup
now
is
it's just
way better
4
than
versus
Reynolds.
3.
Because Cup is better than Reynolds. Cup is better than Cooks.
Now it's 4 versus 3. You're saying just because you're taking
Cup is better
numbers.
than Cooks.
I think you're taking Cup over Cooks.
I take in that offense. Yeah.
Wow, I
Look at the
really
offense.
disagree.
That
I would really
That
disagree.
Rams offense has not been the same since
I
Cup
would
left.
really
Since Cup
disagree
got
on
hurt.
that.
You
I
can't
think Brandon
disagree
Cooks
with
is the
that.
top
I
10.
just think that more
As the
teams
offense-
have figured
as
out
the
the Rams'
offense-
offense a little bit more.
But once Cooper Cup got hurt, their offense took a dive.
I think it's
It
just
has.
What
Yeah.
dive did it take?
coincidence.
I mean, we looked at the bad game against the Bears. They were an historically good defense, as much as I hate to say it.
Pull up the schedule.
In cold weather.
There
So,
was the Lions the week before. They kind of sucked.
yeah,
too.
but I mean, okay, any team has bad weeks. And the Rams were historically amazing at the beginning of the season. They looked very good against the Saints last week. Jared Goff looked really good against the Saints last week.
When did Cup go out? The week before the Packers game?
I think week 8, right, or something.
Yeah, I
somewhere
don't
right
know,
around
but
there.
I'm not going to
That's
sit
like
here
right-
and say
that's
Cup
like-
is better than Cooks.
Yeah, I totally
would
disagree
never
with
say that. But I'm just looking at this. If the question is position by position breakdown of talent, I'm going the Rams. But if we want to talk experience, I think the Patriots would win in every single facet. Then.
Yeah,
Because they have so many more players who've played in the playoffs than the
Also,
Rams.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're talking about just I don't know, just overall the passing game of these two teams, I would take the Patriots any day of the week. Because then you got to factor in
that's
Rob
another-
Gronkowski.
Well, I thought, are we going to hit tight ends? Or are we going to add tight ends?
Yeah,
and
but then
receivers?
also you look at pass
And-
game.
I mean,
James White.
yeah, and
James
then you
White
got-
out of the backfield.
Okay,
It's
this is
technically
position
wide.
by position
Okay,
breakdown.
let's screw that. Wide receiver then. I'm taking the Patriots wide receiver.
I'm
core.
taking the Rams.
Um,
Is this by talent or experience? Can we clarify that now?
Yeah, talent. Over
Okay.
talent.
Okay, then I'm taking the Rams then,
All
too.
right, tight end.
Obviously the Patriots. I mean, you can't even... You're going to say
You're gonna say Tyler
Higbee
Higbee?
is
They got Everett, don't they?
Yeah, they have Gerald Everett and Tyler Higbee.
So
but
what?
who cares?
They got
They
Rob
don't use tight ends in
Gronkowski
their
and
offense.
Walker, who I mean,
Walker. I
yeah,
don't even
Delaney
know.
Walker, right?
They don't.
Oh
they
no,
have-
not Delaney Walker.
They
Who's
have
the- Who's the backup?
Dwayne Allen?
Dwayne Allen, yeah.
That's another. I think Rob Gronkowski's a shell of his former self. He's retiring after this game. I almost guarantee that. He was going to retire last year, he said. If he would have been traded, he was going to retire.
I will refuse to take Tyler Higbee and
Yeah, they
Everett
literally
over
well, they
don't
don't
use
use
tight
them.
ends in
They don't
their
use them. Are we
offense.
doing talent or are we doing system?
We're using...
Yeah, we're using
either.
talent. Probably the most talented tight end of all time.
Is
I'm
Rob
gonna
Gronkowski.
take-
Shell of his
I'm gonna
former
take-
self,
I'm going
though.
to take Rob
I
Gronkowski
would
every
be
day
willing to
of the
bet a
week.
lot of money that Rob Gronkowski goes off this Sunday.
Because, he
I
had
can just-
off
I
weeks,
can just feel
and
it
he's
coming.
had injury prone, but as far as I know, he's healthy going into this game. He
He's not
looked
healthy.
very healthy in the Chiefs game because he was
He's
going
had
off.
4 back surgeries over his career. He's
That
had
doesn't
multiple
matter.
concussions.
I mean,
he's
he
not
does
healthy.
not matter.
Tyler Higbee, though.
He hasn't played in
He's
a
a
16-game
guy.
season.
I would not take Tyler
I
Higbee
think
over Rob
Everett is their number
Gronkowski.
one guy.
and you would take Gerald Everett over.
I can't believe this is an argument right now.
That's
Right
the
now,
dumbest thing
I don't
I've
think
ever heard
I don't think
on
Rob
this show.
Gronkowski's healthy. I don't think he's a shell of his former self.
Well, he looked pretty healthy
He looked
against
pretty,
the Chiefs.
Yeah, seriously.
All right,
How about all
I'll
the
take
blocking?
I'll take the Patriots tight ends, but I
Yeah.
still don't think it's as close as you think.
But
How
also
far
just
away
think
is he
about
think?
in terms of blocking, like Rob Gronkowski's the best blocking tight
And
end.
the Rams don't use
Yeah.
tight ends. I
NFL.
don't think we've seen whatever Caduce. They don't use tight ends.
They
I think they use tight ends pretty well.
the Rams?
Yeah, I mean,
Rams,
I think
they
They barely use.
they
them.
barely use
I
tight
think in
ends.
play action and stuff like that, I don't know if it's as much a difference as how much the Patriots use them.
I don't know. I think they.
Especially in terms of like I don't know.
I think the Patriots use.
But
tight
that's
ends more.
easily- I
But
mean-
okay, we're just going talent though. We're not going who uses.
Rob Gronkowski's probably the most talented tight end of all time.
Yeah, I
Not
would.
anymore.
Oh my gosh.
All right, let's go to offensive line. I
I take the Patriots.
take the Patriots because they got that. Who's their offensive line coach?
Oh,
Scar.
Skarnecki.
Skarnecchia or something.
Yeah.
Skarnecki.
I gotta
He is
admit,
the best
on
offensive
the
line
show
coach.
to Brett is like a Patriots fan or whatever. But I said that the Patriots offensive line sucked at the beginning of the year. I
They've
have
come
to
together.
I have to eat my words. They are one of the better offensive lines in the league. He is one of the best offensive line coaches, in the world. But I gotta say, the system helps them a lot. Because no matter how much you argue Tom Brady and stuff like that, he gets rid of the ball very quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And so it's much easier to block for someone for 3 to 4 seconds rather than someone who scrambles or
I
something
think
like that.
Whitworth is the best offensive lineman between these two teams.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I'd agree with
But
that.
I think overall,
I mean, the Rams have talent too. Saffold's
Yeah,
good guard.
Sullivan.
Sullivan's a good center. He's their center.
Yeah.
Right? And but
Yeah.
I'd take the Patriots as a group overall.
Yeah.
And the Rams have looked. They haven't looked. Their offensive line's had shaky weeks, and the Patriots been consistent all year. So
You taking Patriots, Brian?
I'm taking the Patriots.
All right, defensive line. Oh, we're taking the Rams.
Rams by a wash.
The
Yeah,
guys-
I
the
mean,
guy-
you
Aaron
just-
Donald's the
Aaron
best
Donald.
defensive player in the league right now.
They have Dante Fowler. They have Ndamukong
Ndamukong
Suh.
Suh. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a wash to me.
Brockers.
I mean, the one thing I will say, yeah, Brockers too. But I mean, Trey Flowers though,
He's
like,
good.
I mean, you can read a lot of articles right now about how underrated he is.
He's very talented, but like Aaron Donald's arguably could be the MVP. But Pat Mahomes went off, but like he could be the MVP.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like in terms of defense. Yeah.
I mean, Ndamukong Suh is Ndamukong Suh. He didn't look all that great, but I mean, he looked great against the Saints, and he's just insane to block too. Just those two in general, you have to take the Rams.
Yeah.
I think.
All right, linebackers.
Definitely.
They don't know. None of them have huge names.
I mean,
Dante
Dante Hightower's. He's,
Hightower.
he's pretty good.
I'd take the Patriots just because I feel like the Patriots linebackers have a lot of pressure on
They
them.
still Rams.
I
still
feel like they
use,
have to coach, really coach, be the coach on the field.
The Rams.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
every linebacker in every team does that, but like I feel like the Patriots have a lot of experience. I know we're not going by experience. I just feel like
The Rams use Barron still. He's safety. And they moved him to linebacker. He's pretty solid. I'm trying to think. I can't remember.
They got Corey Littleton.
Corey Littleton. He's pretty good.
I'm just
Corey
going to take the
Littleton's
Patriots
pretty good.
based on
I would take-
Hightower.
yeah.
And, I mean, I think
Van Noy's pretty good too.
Van Noy, like, the Patriots have, like, just some very, like,
I think
smart
it's another
This is the
linebackers.
system.
Yeah, the
That's
system.
problem.
Bill
and-
Belichick.
Is
I
just-
feel like if I'm taking the Patriots linebackers, I'm taking Bill Belichick. So I think.
Yeah.
All right, defensive backs.
Ooh.
So
I would,
including all safeties, corners.
Including safeties.
Okay.
I would take the Patriots. I don't
They
know.
got Gilmore. I think Gilmore is
I'm-
You can make
good.
an argument that Gilmore's the best corner in the
Yeah.
NFL.
I
right
would
now.
take the Rams. I think Gilmore's very good. I agree. Gilmore could be the best corner in the league. But outside of that, I don't.
McCourtney.
You got Patrick Chung.
Patrick
But,
Chung,
you
but
got-
look
you
at
got,
who's
all
the
the
kid who was
McCourties.
playing for them that looked horrible in the Chiefs game? 25 or something like that.
Oh,
I know who you're talking about.
yeah.
He's like their slot, like their
Yeah,
corner.
I
look it
I
up.
just feel like the Rams have more talent in the secondary. I love LaMarcus Joyner. Aqib Talib, in my opinion, is still
Yeah,
one of the most
Aqib Talib's
underrated
really good.
players. And I don't know how he's still underrated. I know he's older, but he's very good. Marcus Peters hasn't looked that great, but Marcus Peters is still good, and he brings like swagger to the secondary.
You think
that,
J.C. Jackson?
Yeah,
Yeah,
JC
that's what it
Jackson,
was.
27,
27.
yeah.
He committed penalties left and right. I would just take. I would take the Rams just because I like them all, like, as a group. But with Patriots, I just like Gilmore. And, like, Chung's good and stuff like that. And McCourty's good like that. But, like, I just think the Rams as a group.
I think Gilmore's the best corner, best defensive backs out of these two guys, out of these two teams. But I think overall, Rams have the better secondary.
I'd have to agree with Travis.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's like I can't pick against, like, Bill Belichick.
That's
and,
the
like,
problem is, like, you have talent versus talent. But they have
like,
Belichick,
their scheme is just so good.
They're smarter than everybody. It's like, that's the problem.
I don't know,
Like,
but is again, Bill Belichick, obviously one of the greatest coaches ever. Wade Phillips is a very good defensive mind, too.
Oh, yeah, he's
Wade
fantastic.
Phillips is very good. He's fantastic. So I think he's going to use these guys as well very good, too. But I agree with you. It's hard to pick
let's go to the special teams. Like, I think the Rams have the better punter. I think Zerline's the better kicker. But then you look at, like, coverage. I think the Patriots
I would go the
so
Rams.
smart.
Yeah.
Just because creativity. I like their creativity. And if they get down early in this game, I think the Rams...
But the Patriots
These are two great special teams.
The Patriots have Slater and they have Ebner, who are two of the best, like, special teams players. They're always in the Pro Bowl.
Even Cordero Patterson, like, I mean, he's a pretty good returner. Steven Gostkowski's a great kicker.
Yeah. And,
I would take the Rams just based on creativity. The Rams have won games this year based on their special teams.
Yeah.
They're not afraid to...
They get back... If the Rams fall down, the Rams aren't afraid to use their special teams to get the momentum back into the game. And that's what I like. I think with the Patriots, more of just like a system. Okay, we got to punt, we got to kick, stuff like that. I think with the Rams, it's actually used as like a game-changing
But it is, like Brian said, I think these two teams are the best special teams.
There are two. The Chiefs are, but like, yeah, they're definitely up there.
All right, well, let's do predictions then. Brian, why don't you start your guest? Go ahead.
For who's winning the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, you can't pick against the Patriots. I mean, they have Bill Belichick and Tom Brady.
Give us a score then.
I'm gonna go with how about 24-21. I don't think it's gonna be crazy high scoring or anything like that, but it will be close.
I am going 31-23 Patriots. I just feel like the Patriots are just too good. And too experienced for the Rams. I really feel like I just have this weird feeling Jared Goff is a pressure quarterback, and I feel like he might crack under pressure.
Yeah,
I just feel like he's kind of this. I have no factual evidence to prove it other than the Bears game. I just feel like once he gets bright lights, he's gonna kind of crack. I'm rooting for the Rams hardcore. I know you're rooting for the Patriots, but I am rooting for the Rams very much so. Even though I really don't like Los Angeles, but I just don't want to see Tom Brady get another one. But I am going to take the Patriots 31-23. I will never pick against the Patriots ever again on this show or just anywhere. So.
I've picked against the Patriots twice, and I've been wrong both times. I picked the Chargers in the playoffs, then I picked the Dolphins. I think it was like week 4. I'm taking the Patriots here. I don't want to pick against them. Like Truman said, I'll be rooting for the Rams harder than I've ever rooted for any team in my life. I think the Rams. I think it's gonna be a pretty clean game. I think it'll be 28-14. I'm gonna take the Patriots.
Oh, you're really
2 touchdowns.
Yeah, nice clean game. But that's it for that. We'll tune in on Tuesday for a breakdown of what happened in the game. 2 more NFL storylines I want to get through quickly, just so we can get to our interview. Deshaun Jackson yesterday said on the radio that he wants to go to Los Angeles, play for the Rams next year. That would be actually a pretty good fit with the Sean McVay system.
Yeah, I think Deshaun Jackson is getting older, but he's still got the speed. But he's not going to give you a full 16 games anymore. But he'd be good in the system. I think he'd fit. I mean, I don't understand where. I mean, like you look, you'd probably have Brandon Cooks. I still think Kupp would be better than him. I think we just listed them all.
Yeah.
Woods. Yeah. I think he'd still have to be like a 3rd, 4th guy for them. But, I mean, Deshaun Jackson, I mean, he'd fit good there. He's got speed. Sean McVay is going to look for speed wherever he can get speed. But I think, and, I can see why he'd want to go back there. I think that's where he grew up, out there in Los Angeles. So I could definitely see that being a good fit for him.
Okay. Next story. Rob Ryan was hired by the Redskins to be the inside linebackers coach. Ryan brother back in football now. We got to get Rex a job. But Jim Tom Sewell and Rob Ryan on the same defensive staff. It's going to be an interesting season there in Washington, I would say.
Yeah.
And no Alex Smith. It's going to be
They're in-
Interesting year.
they're in quarterback hell.
I think the Washington Redskins are headed for the number 1 pick next year.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think they are going to be the worst team in football next year. I think Rob Ryan. I kind of like the Ryan brothers. They
Classic.
It comes from the Buddy Ryan tree. Obviously, their dad, and Pettin comes from there. So I kind of like that little tree of people. But I think the game's kind of gone past those two people. Rob Ryan, towards the end of where he was a defensive coordinator, I think it was with the
Saints.
Maybe the
He was
Browns.
with the Bills.
Oh, yeah, the Bills,
maybe.
With his brother.
Yeah, Jesus.
But I think they, those defenses were statistically some of the worst in football. But I think we can all. For my easy pick for next year, the Redskins will not have a good record, and I think they're headed for the bottom of the league.
I think the Dolphins could be there too.
I think Bruce Allen, the ownership in Washington, I think they got some big changes they need to make because the fans aren't filling up FedEx
Honestly,
Stadium.
I could even see the Cardinals getting back there too if Kingsbury doesn't work out. I think Kingsbury's a big risk.
I just see who's starting quarterback for the Redskins.
The first overall pick of the San Diego Fleet, of course.
Oh yeah, Josh Johnson.
Right, I could see them going and get like Tannehill, Flacco, or Bortles to just start 16.
I just think
'Cause
Joe
those three names will be
Flacco
there.
in a Redskins uniform would be the worst.
That would,
boringest.
that would make it so
Yeah.
bad.
But
No one would want to watch
I
that.
think Jay Gruden. I like Jay Gruden. I love the Gruden brothers, but I think he's headed for a firing there in Washington. But
Yeah,
I think he hasn't been.
It's time for a change.
The ownership
They
in
do have
Washington.
guys though. They have guys coming back.
Yeah, but okay.
He is not,
I could
he's not
see
like
the
second
way
coming of
Washington
Christ.
has to spice it up is they have to draft Kyler Murray, and
Go back to
Kyler
the Robert
Murray.
Griffin type of thing.
Yeah, but Kyler Murray, Geis, that's a talented young backfield there. That'd be interesting. They've got some talented receivers, but I don't think they are. I think they'll probably just pick some Alabama defensive linemen like they usually do and be the bottom of the league. So.
Quentin Williams.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's it for football. We're going to move now to basketball. But before that, I had to remind you guys about our guy, Andrew, at A's Lawn Service. Since 2014, A's Lawn Service has been providing professional landscaping at a low and fair price. A's Lawn Service does everything he can to make sure your lawn, your home looks great. So go check him out, A's Lawn Service. The number is 330-241-2392. Again, 330-241-2392. And the email is lawnservice.a's@gmail.com. A's Lawn Service, LLC. You grow it, we cut it. So the All-Star, we're going to talk about basketball real quick. The All-Star lineups were released the other day. Let me pull them up. I should have had them pulled up before. Hold on a second.
Giannis, LeBron.
It's
Those are the
Giannis
two
versus
captains.
LeBron, yeah, which
Yeah.
is stupid because LeBron is hurt and he's been hurt the last month and a half.
Yeah, but LeBron's always going to get an advantage because he's LeBron. But I think
Okay,
Giannis will.
so the Western Conference, we got Steph and Kevin Durant, obviously, Paul George, James Harden, and LeBron. I think that's pretty stacked lineup there. Paul George and James Harden are both having MVP caliber seasons. Then we'll go to the Eastern Conference. Giannis, Joel Embiid, Kyrie Irving, Kemba, and Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi and Giannis are both having MVP caliber seasons, and Kemba Walker's right there too. So pretty good stacked lineup from both sides. But I think the West is just...
The West is more deep.
Reserves are tonight, by the way.
Yeah, the West is more like on paper talent, but like if you're looking like statistically, like game wise, like who's guarding Joel Embiid on the West?
LeBron,
but he's hurt right now.
he's coming back though next week.
Okay, but I don't know. I just think they don't have a true big man to guard Joel Embiid. Shooting wise, I think on the edge. Steph's the best shooter of all time, but like Kyrie, Kemba, that's a very
Kevin
good.
Durant.
That's
Steph
a very good
Curry,
backcourt. Then you
James
look at
Harden.
Giannis. Giannis is.
You're saying that East has better shooters?
No, obviously James Harden and Steph Curry are probably the two best of like all time. But I'm saying the West is more talent. But I'm saying that the East shouldn't be slept on because I think the East is very talented.
Paul
player.
George is the best defender in the game right now.
Wow.
Easily.
Yeah, but I think when you look at Giannis, who's he going to be able to guard?
What?
Who's he guarding?
Kawhi?
Kawhi.
Kawhi versus Paul George.
Kawhi's one of the best defenders in the league, too, and Kawhi's been having
better,
an
though.
awesome season.
But yeah, it's a good matchup. I think this is a good lineup of guys. But the reserves is going to be interesting to see who makes it and who doesn't. I think Doncic should make it. I think he's going to be a guy on the edge, and I would like to see Derrick Rose get in too. But we'll see what happens. I know Brian's a big Derrick Rose guy, but
Of course.
all right. Two more small NBA storylines, and then we got to move on to baseball because Brian's got to rant a little bit. Kyrie Irving, there's reports he wants to go rejoin the Lakers and rejoin LeBron. Anthony Davis was fined the other day for collusion.
It's the stupidest. Anthony Davis's fine to someone who makes $40,000 a year
Is nothing.
his fine is to someone who, like, a normal person who makes $40,000 a year. It's like a parking ticket of like $78. That's how much Anthony Davis was fined
Really?
in like retrospect to how much he makes.
That's crazy.
Isn't that
That's
like
insane.
Yeah, you're not allowed
so basically
to-
Anthony Davis paid a parking ticket to say he wants to get traded to the Lakers.
So the thing that I saw was interesting, if you think about it, Anthony Davis and LeBron had dinner a month ago in L.A. Nobody knows what was talked about. LeBron goes out with an injury. What happens during an injury? The younger guys get to play more. The younger guys get more trade value. You guys get to see him play more. And it's got to be interesting,
Wow,
don't you think? It's a little conspiracy. But yeah, then Kyrie, if he rejoins, and then I guess, if they want to go with their Klay Thompson this summer.
I will guarantee that Kyrie will not be a Los Angeles Laker on the
Based
show
on
right
what?
now.
Wow.
Based one,
Bold.
he said in front of, and if Kyrie wants to be a big fat liar, which I don't know if Kyrie wants to be a big fat liar, he said in the summer he wants to be a Boston Celtic. Like, he said he wants to finish his career there. He wants to do it. He said it in front of the fans. There's recordings and videos of it. And everyone thinks, just because Kyrie said I'm sorry to LeBron, he wants to go play with him again. No, I think he just said sorry. I don't think they're going to.
They haven't. Al Horford has been hurt this year. He was kind of their veteran guy. Kyrie's kind of had to step up and be the veteran guy. He knows how hard it is to take care of a group of younger players and kind of lead them. He knows what LeBron went through in Cleveland. He misses LeBron. He misses playing with him. It's not as fun playing
I
with
think
LeBron.
they literally just said sorry to each other, and their friendship was patched, but I don't think they're going to play with each other ever again.
Who knows? I guess we'll have to see, right? All right, baseball. Brian, you got something you want to talk about here with the Citi Field and the Mets.
All right. So
Go
recently I've read an article on Fangraphs by Jeff Sullivan called "There's Definitely Something Strange About Citi Field." And the mystery here concerns why the Mets can't hit at home. And before I start getting into this, I need to explain what BABIP is. So BABIP is an acronym for batted balls in play, and all it means is it's the percentage of any balls being hit into play that are not outs. So for example, I think the average MLB team has a BABIP of about 25%. So 25% of the balls that they put into play are not outs. So the mystery surrounding Citi Field concerns why the Mets can't hit at home and why the team's BABIP suffers at home. Citi Field has been modified multiple times, but it was modified most dramatically before the 2012 season. Since 2012, the Mets rank last in the majors in runs scored at home. They rank 7th in runs scored on the road, though. Since 2012, the Mets rank last in the majors in BABIP at home, but 3rd on the road. The BABIP gap is huge over 7 seasons, which is a big very, very weird. That's very weird. And since 2012, they've allowed the 8th fewest runs at home, but 17th fewest on the road.
That's crazy.
They're also 12th in BABIP allowed at home and 28th in allowed BABIP on the road. Scoring runs at Citi Field is generally much harder than anywhere else in Major League Baseball. So why is Citi Field so strange? I don't have an answer to that, and neither does anyone else. But I can give you evidence to show that there is definitely something up with Citi Field. So from 2012 to 2018, over that span, relative to games on the road, Citi Field has reduced runs by 14%, which is the biggest run suppressor in baseball. Mets home games have had a BABIP of about 25 points lower than Mets road games. That's more than twice as large as the next greatest negative effect. And no park No park increases infield flies more than Citi Field does, or reduces ground balls that turn into hits or line drives that turn into hits more than Citi Field does. Citi Field is second to last in home versus road exit velocities as well, with an average reduction of 12 miles per hour. And all that means is you're subtracting the average exit velocity at home versus on the road. And since 2012, the Mets are last in Major League Baseball when you subtract home and road winning percentage, meaning they've won more on the road than at home, which is absolutely insane. Like, there's no team that is hurt.
Sports, really.
Yeah, exactly. That is hurt as bad as the Mets.
Chargers, but yeah, they don't have a
yeah,
fan base.
that's true. Hurt more than the Mets than when they play at home. So there's a couple theories out there as to why Citi Field is so weird and why offense just does not exist at Citi Field. And one of those theories is that before the Mets moved on from I believe it was Shea Park or Shea Stadium.
Yeah.
When they were building Citi Field, the Mets owners had an option. Well, I mean, all owners are supposed to make wind studies of like the outfield and how balls are affected by wind in the area, and the Mets owners were supposedly too cheap to do these wind studies, and that is like supposedly part of the reason of why there's like fly balls are almost always outs at Citi Field. And it also could affect ground balls as well. And then another theory is that in all the Major League Baseball stadiums, they all store the balls in the stadium. And they have some kind of room, usually like beneath the stadium, where they keep all the balls that they're going to use. And the idea is that the Mets are like storing their balls in a very like humid room, like unintentionally. And for example, like the Houston Astros, there were a lot of complaints from players that balls were coming too hard off of the turf, like ground balls. So they, in order to fix that, they installed a humidor where they could keep all the balls in that they were going to use. So it like made the balls, exposed the balls to more moisture, and like. It's like the same kind of idea with the Mets, is that maybe like they're keeping these balls in a really moist environment, which like deadens the balls. So those are the two theories, but no one really knows why Citi Field is literally the worst place for anyone to hit.
Crazy to think about with the home record versus away record with the Mets.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I just think it's crazy because like Jacob deGrom, he has
exactly.
like, this insane season where people are like, oh, he's statistically the best season ever for a pitcher and stuff like that. But
then you hear stuff like this, and it just kind of makes you wonder if it was actually like that.
I mean,
great.
he's still a very good pitcher, but at the same time,
still like, I mean, it's insane.
Yeah. So interesting article with Brian. Do you have the link for that? If I want to put it on the Twitter.
Like I said, the article is called "There's Definitely Something Strange About Citi Field," and it's by Jeff Sullivan. It is on Fangraphs.
I'll put it on the Twitter if you want to check it out. We got to go quick to get to the Mitch Longo interview. What's going on with the Cubs, Brian?
Who knows what's going on with the Cubs? I mean, honestly...
Brian rants about this almost every time we meet up.
The owners of the Cubs are the Ricketts, and the Ricketts apparently no longer want to spend any money on the Cubs.
Here come the Milwaukee Brewers.
You know I don't know if you've seen Truman, but the Brewers are projected to be finishing last in the NL Central.
Yeah. What source is that?
I said it on the last show. They've spent the offseason losing talent and not acquiring it.
What talent did we lose, man?
You lost Wade Miley, who was a big piece of your postseason run last year.
39 and a half years old or 40?
Mustakas.
He batted...
Jonathan Scope?
Probably under 230. Scope batted under like 100.
He's one of the most promising hitters.
You got rid of an outfielder too, didn't you?
Keon Broxton.
Broxton?
Oh, yeah, because the outfielder Yelich, Braun, and Kane isn't
Couldn't get it done last year. I guess they're going to expect to get it done this year with less talent.
Makes sense. I think that's why the Cubs aren't paying anything, because they're like, holy shit, the Brewers are like... insanely good now. They've got a young
I'm
core, and
Brian,
Travis.
you scared of the Brewers?
I'm not scared of the Brewers. I'm
I
more scared of
think
the Cardinals.
Indians
They got
are
Paul
done,
Goldschmidt.
so
They got Andrew Miller.
They're rolling out there in Game 1 of the World Series with who? For Chase Anderson? Like, that don't scare me.
He's going out there. Is Jimmy Nelson ever going to come back?
I think Brandon Woodruff, Jimmy Nelson is going to come back.
He's just a shell.
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 All right, that's what they said.
All
Remember last July?
No.
No. Remember last July when I said the Brewers are going to win the division? Everyone thought I was crazy, and the Brewers won the division. Okay.
All right. Well, we got to move on so we can get to Mitch Longo's interview. Before the interview, we had to remind you guys about Dom at D's Home Cuts. D's Home Cuts is the best place around Northeast Ohio for a great haircut at a low price. For only $7, you get modern haircut and styling. Truman and I and Brian have all gotten their haircut at Dom's at least one point in our lives, and we continue to be great clients. So check him out on his Instagram at D's Home Cuts. You can also check out his new YouTube page, Unlimited Dom. He's doing great stuff on there, showing people how to lose weight, because he is continuing to kill it with the weight loss. So go check him out, D's Home Cuts, on his Instagram. Set up an appointment, DM him to get all the details, and you will not be disappointed. D's Home Cuts, professional haircuts at a low price. So, we interviewed Indians prospect Mitch Longo. Typically, interviews just me and Truman, but we knew we needed to bring in our baseball expert, Brian Leonard. He came in, he had some good questions. So we sat in the BW3's parking lot, and we interviewed him. It's about negative 20 degrees outside, no heat on. We turned the car off because it sounds better. We interviewed him. He was a great guy. Certainly one of the best guests we ever had. He was cool. He's Ohio native, went to Mayfield High School, went to OU, Ohio University, and now he's picked by the Indians. So you'll hear a couple questions about that, but definitely a really cool experience.
Yeah, he was definitely a great guy.
Yeah, he gave a lot of great answers.
Yeah, so here it is, Mitch Longo, Indians prospect. Enjoy.
Prospect Mitch Longo. So we talked about it a little bit before. You're in Arizona right now getting ready for spring training. What kind of things are you doing to get ready for the season?
Right now we're going Monday through Friday. Getting to the field at the complex rather, around 8 a.m. every day, and they provide a breakfast for us. And then from there I'll get my prep routine going, kind of get my body hot for about 40 minutes or so, and then I'll do some cage work for about an hour, and then get my arm kind of going, throw, long toss, then do some defensive work, and follow up the rest of the day with a lift. And I'm usually done probably around noon or 1:15, depending on the availability of staff and how packed it is that day. So
yeah,
it's pretty at my own pace right now. But there's also, they provide some camps, some performance camps where they'll fly guys out and they'll have staff on the complex to knock out your offensive and defensive stuff like that.
Yeah, what's the weather like there in Arizona right now?
I think about like 70 and sunny right now. We're actually me and Nolan Jones are heading to the Waste Management Open right now, so we're gonna go watch some golf for the rest of the day. So it's
that's nice.
Work in the morning, and then we like to get out and try to relax, play a little bit of golf in the afternoon, or at least go watch some.
Yeah, we're in Cleveland right now. It's like negative 30.
Hey man, I grew up 23 years in that, so I know exactly what you guys are going through.
Yeah. Yeah, so you said you went to Mayfield and OU, so you're an Ohio kid. What was it like to get picked by the Indians?
It's actually kind of crazy. I still get goosebumps whenever someone asks me about that. But it's a dream come true, and I still can't even really believe that it's happening. I get to play for the team that I grew up loving. Most of the affiliates are all within range to where my family can watch me play and visit, which is really important to me. So it's up to this point, it's been nothing short of incredible, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm glad it worked out the way it did.
Yeah, definitely. Mitch, is there any player you model your game off of?
Maybe a handful of guys that I try to pick parts of their game that I admire. I really like watching Brett Gardner play because he's a little bit of an undersized guy. Him and Adam Eaton, left side of the plate, can run a little bit, do some damage on the base path, hit a little bit. any kind of way I can contribute. I think those guys do a pretty good job of kind of being like the glue to their team and kind of being a little bit of a spark plug. Even though they don't hit 30-plus homers a year, they can still contribute by getting on base and making plays in the outfield and stealing bases and kind of making things happen. Guys like that who are kind of gamers are the ones that I try to be.
Yeah. So you said you were an Indians fan growing up. Who was your favorite Indian growing up?
Can I give you three? One's
Yeah.
tough. I loved Robbie Alomar.
Yeah.
Jim Thomey's big.
Mm-hmm.
And Kenny Lofton would probably be my top three. I probably have 10 favorite, but I like Manny, but Manny was Manny was Manny.
Yeah. Definitely. So you spent the last couple seasons in the minors. How has your game improved over the couple of seasons just improving in the minors?
I just learned how long a season is and not only the effect that the longevity of a season takes on not only your body but your mind too. You really got to be in it for 150-plus games and playoffs. I mean, last year I played over 145, pushing 150 games. It's long. I mean, it's used to playing college ball. So when my brother was playing, in college, he'd be starting I'd start before they even started their winter practices, and I'd go all the way through when he's done with summer ball. So it's a real long year, and it's definitely something that if you're not having fun doing it, the game's not for you because it'll chew you up and spit you out for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Mitch, home runs are obviously at an all-time high in Major League Baseball. So have you considered adjusting your swing to add power?
That's not really my kind of game. I'm more of the kind of guy who's got to get on base, stay in the gaps, and do damage that way. I think I'm plenty strong enough to where I can hit home runs moving forward. I think that the increase in velocities of pitches coming in will aid to that. Also, the major league balls are more tightly wound, so they add a little bit more carry. It's like hitting a range ball on the golf course, and then if you hit a Pro V, it'll carry a little bit more. So I think that plays a little bit into it. I'm not really that concerned about it, but it's definitely a pretty good feeling whenever you run into one, no doubt.
Are you pretty comfortable at all three positions in the outfield, or do you prefer any of them?
I'm comfortable with all of them. Any way that I can contribute, any way that I can make it there is wherever I'm going to play. I played center. Ideally, I like center field the most because I can it's the easiest to get a read off the bat right away. A lot of space for me to run around, but I mean, I probably split it last year between left and right, and probably played the fewest amount in center field. But this off season, I've been taking live reads and getting reps at all three. So if I do need to play another spot, I'll be ready for that. So it's more so about adding to the tools you have in your bag and how you can help the team.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. What part of the game do you think you need to work on most during spring training and the upcoming season in the minors?
I'd say preparing your mind for what the season has, because if you're 0 for 30 and you get down on yourself, it's only going to go down from there. So if you keep your head in the right spot and continue to have confidence in yourself and believe that you're going to get out of it, that goes a long way. And that's something that I learned last year, is that the more I got down on myself, the more difficult it was to get out of it. And other days when I'm in a good mood and I'm feeling good about myself, it's night and day difference on how much better you play when you're feeling good about what you're doing and you're confident in your abilities. If you're not, then you're kind of setting yourself up for failure.
Mm-hmm. How difficult would you say it is to always be on the road as a minor league baseball player?
It's real tough, especially in this upcoming season. We have like 18-hour bus trips and stuff like that. So you really got to do a good job of taking care of your body and stretching and staying on top of your routines. Because if you don't, then those bus rides can affect your sleep and your playing ability. I mean, I even bought one of those Inu hammocks that I set up in the rafters of the bus, or lay a yoga mat down on the ground and try to get some sleep, because you can wake up and your neck will be stiff, and the last thing you want is to miss playing time and games because you are sore from a bus trip. But travel definitely it's not the best, but I mean it's a part of it, and it's something that is only going to get better as you climb up. So it's, I guess, added motivation to continue to climb through the ranks.
For sure. Yeah. So during the season, how much attention do you pay to the Indians in the majors?
Not nearly as much as I did anymore. Kind of like an added distraction. But I mean, I'll try to keep up with some scores. If for some reason we have a day game and I can catch a couple innings, I'll watch. But it's a lot more difficult, especially because we play at the same times.
Yeah.
But I mean, if we have like a rain delay, they'll put the game up on TV. I'll always root for them. I mean, that's my team, and it's crazy now that the guys that I grew up watching, that are still there, like the Michael Brantley's who I love watching and stuff like that. Well, he's gone now, but a lot of these players, it's like I grew up, idolizing and watching, and now I'm competing for the same job that they are. So it's kind of like a love-hate relationship. So I try not to pay too much attention to it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Who would you say is the hardest pitcher you've ever faced, whether it's in high school, college, minors, whatever?
I thought as far as the stuff goes and command and the ability to throw everything they have for a strike kind of wherever they want would probably be Eric Lauer. He went to Kent State, and now he made his debut last year with the Padres. So he kind of flew through the minor leagues. He was drafted, I believe, first round in 2016. He's left-handed pitcher. He was a stud, but I mean, I faced Steven Strasburg last year, and he had a rehab start with the Nationals, and he was pretty disgusting. There's a reason that man gets paid millions of dollars to do what he does, because
How'd you do first?
He put me in a blender. I worked to a full count twice, and then I punched on a changeup, and then he threw me like a front foot slider. It was pretty gross, but I'll get mine versus him down the road.
Yeah. All right. If you could have one at bat versus any pitcher in MLB history, who would you pick?
I'm trying to think. Maybe Nolan Ryan. I think Nolan Ryan would be a good one. Legend. Kind of gritty, hard-nosed guy. I think competing against a guy like that and coming out victorious would be something pretty cool. Yeah. He's an all-time great.
Yeah.
Do you have any superstitious baseball rituals?
Not really. No, I wouldn't say I do. I mean, I have like a little bit of routine that I do at the plate kind of every time I tap the outside and the inside part of the plate, just to kind of, that's what I do to kind of regroup and reset myself, take a breath from pitch to pitch. So I guess that's it. In college, I used to eat a Snickers bar before every game. I thought Snickers had hits in them, but it didn't have much more than just a lot of sugar and a lot of calories, so I had to stop doing that.
Yeah, definitely. So you listed off some of your favorite Indians earlier in the interview, but what's your favorite all-time athlete growing up in any sport?
All-time athlete, I'm a big LeBron guy. I grew up watching him play when he was at St. Vincent St. Mary, and I remember him playing Menor High School, actually, and they were filling out Akron University's stadiums and seeing kind of how he handled all of the publicity and kind of what he's become now. And he's a good dad, and he's done a lot for the community, and he brought a championship to Cleveland, and just kind of the way that he carries himself is something that I admire. He stays out of trouble, which nowadays is kind of hard to do, which seems like all these big-time athletes are under a microscope. It seems like everyone has something on everyone, but he does a good job of carrying himself the right way, and I admire the way that he does that and carries out his business. So if there's somebody that I could kind of have a career like or have someone look up to me, I think LeBron would be a pretty cool guy to do that after.
How'd you feel about him leaving to Los Angeles?
I don't mind it. He came back. He did his job. He got Cleveland a championship. And, I mean, would you rather be in Cleveland this time of year or L.A.?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, definitely. So, two last questions. What's your favorite all-time memory from sports?
Oh, man. Favorite all-time memory in sports?
Yeah. Something you just always look back on.
I think playing playing in high school sports, high school football I miss a lot. A bunch of my good buddies done, and high school baseball too. For a while we were number one in the state, and a lot of those guys went on to play college ball, and it was much more simple then. And it's like I try to remind myself now to try to have that same mentality that I had during those days. It was just a lot of fun, and not many worries. Just playing ball just to have fun, and sometimes you got to remind yourself that that's all it is, and it's just a kid's game, and incredibly blessed and humbled that that's what I get to do every day instead of I could be in a cubicle and number crunching.
Yeah.
So
all right.
That's what I like to look back on.
Last question: who's your Super Bowl pick for Sunday?
Oh man, I can't go. It's hard to bet against Tom Brady, but I want to go Rams. I think I want the Rams to win.
I think we're all with you on that one.
Because I don't know, I still got Julian Edelman. Julian Edelman's a MAC guy, but Sean McVay went to Miami, and being an Ohio Bobcat, I guess that's the closest thing I could get as our rival in Sean McVay. But I think it's cool how the Rams kind of went after all their core guys, and they did it. But it won't be long before my Browns get up there, so I'm sure the Rams will hold it down until then.
Do you think Baker Mayfield's the answer?
Oh yeah, that's a dangerous man.
Yeah. Well, I think we got all our questions out. You guys have anything else?
Nope, I think we're good.
All right, thank you for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, fellas. Stay warm out there, okay?
Yeah, all right, will do. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
All right, it's easy.
So that was our interview with Mitch Longo. Like I said, we recorded that in the BW3's parking lot. Just three boys in a car recording an interview with Mitch Longo. It was a really cool experience, really fun, and definitely, cool to see, get a little bit of insight between for the minor league prospects. You don't hear a lot from them.
Yeah, he was a cool guy. I mean, Indians player, so not my favorite, but he's definitely a guy that I'm going to follow once I go to Rubber Ducks games and stuff like that. Hopefully he'll be up there. Hopefully he'll get a chance soon to play in the majors. I think with that lacking outfield, he'll get a chance soon there in Cleveland. So, but he was an awesome guy, and I'm definitely excited to follow what happens in his career.
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely be rooting for him down the line. He seems really humble, down to earth, and I really hope he does well.
Yeah. He was cool because, we did Logan Ice. He was also a really cool guest to have on. Longo was cool, though, because, the Indians, like Truman said, their outfield is a little bit they're trying to figure things out right now. We need consistency in the outfield. We have a lot of guys, Naquin, Leonis Martin. Why are you laughing about that, Brian?
Because Leonis Martin shouldn't be starting in a major league outfield.
Okay, well,
neither should Jordan Luplow or whatever.
He was sick last year.
He was sick.
Yeah. Fun of that? He almost died.
Yeah, well, he's like a very low
Jordan
down depth
Luplow
piece.
is a good piece too. Naquin, Luplow, Martin, Zimmer, Greg Allen. There's just a lot of names.
Studs.
A lot of names.
I think I'd rather have Yelich, Kane, and Braun.
A lot of names that could really deliver, or they could fall. Just a couple injuries there. So, and he's going to be in Double-A this year, Mitch Longo. So he could easily. He is a really consistent, solid hitter. And the Indians are kind of looking for that leadoff batter, I guess, somebody who can hold down that position like Kenny Lofton did in the 90s. So Mitch could get a call-up this year or next year. It depends, but it's a really cool interview, and we're really glad to talk to him. But that is it for our show today. We want to thank you to our sponsors, D's Home Cuts and A's Lawn Service. Go check us out on iTunes. Give us 5 stars, rate, review us, and subscribe. Follow us on Spotify now. You can also find us on Twitter, TNT Sports Talk 12. That's where you can send us comments, questions, concerns, things you like, things you didn't like. If you want to be a guest, send us a DM. And also check out the day before the episode. We'll be posting who's on it and different interviews, different stuff that's going on. So check it out, TNT Sports Talk 12. You can also find us tomorrow on 12 Ounce from 7 to 8 p.m., 12ounce.com. Find us on GrandOldSports.com as well. And then our YouTube page. If you can't find us on anything else, YouTube is the best option. TNT Sports Talk, check it out. But that's it. Super Bowl this weekend. Certainly the fun time for everybody. I think everybody's going to be watching that game. What's your favorite part about the Super Bowl?
The football.
Football?
My favorite part is that the Bears will be in it and will win it next year.
Yeah.
I'd have to disagree. I think Matt LaFleur is going to have to disagree with that one, but
A little bit.
But definitely, I just think football. It's gonna be a sad, dark winter when the clock hits 0 in the fourth quarter, and then we got to wait for opening day in baseball. That's a good 2 months, I believe.
You got combine.
That's
That's
still not for a
combine.
while.
It doesn't compare to
Fills
a Sunday.
the gaps a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah, it doesn't compare to a Sunday football, but so just get prepared for another dark, long off season
And if it's a
until opening
Patriots
day.
Super Bowl off season, it's going to be even tougher.
Yep.
So-
But
But that's it for our show. Thank you, Brian, for coming back on.
Thank you for having me.
Then that's it. Have
Go
a great day.
Packers.
And
Go
tune
Cubs,
in on-
go.
Tune in on
go
Tuesday.
Pack, go.